Morning guys and welcome back to the channel. I have just literally this second taken delivery of this brand new release by Seiko. This is set to be one of the most popular and biggest selling Seiko watches of 2023. I am of course talking about the brand new 38mm SRPK33K1. This is the teal dial version. They've actually launched this watch with 4 different coloured dials. I actually don't like teal dialed watches, but I bought this one because it is undoubtedly going to be the one that everybody is interested in. Because at the moment, teal dials seem to be all the rage. I think my pick of the bunch is actually the orange dialed version. But anyway, I thought I'd get in what is likely to be the most popular one to show you in this video. And I've actually got a set of Tiffany & Co. cufflinks, and they come in a Tiffany blue pouch, and so I'll be able to compare the colours. And yeah, it's worth noting that Tiffany & Co. have trademarked this colour. It's not just words and phrases and brand names that can be trademarked, colours can also be trademarked. And yeah, no one is allowed to use this Tiffany blue on anything unless Tiffany gives permission. So yeah, just be careful guys out there. Perhaps don't be tempted to call this watch a Tiffany dial or a Tiffany blue dial watch, because it really isn't. Right, now that I've unboxed this thing, yeah, let's get it resized and I can share with you my first impressions. Right, here it is, resized for my roughly average sized wrist, and well, it's not the most comfortable, unfortunately. They've only given you 2 micro adjustment holes on the clasp, and yeah, they're roughly 5mm apart, so they're basically giving you half link adjustment. It's a touch too tight for me actually, and if I loosen it off to the outer hole, it is a touch too loose, although I am quite fussy about my watch fitting. But still, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I think 3 micro adjustment holes would have been better. But yeah, it is, in terms of its appearance, to me anyway, noticeably smaller than the original 5KX. I think it wears smaller than a 38. I will give you the dimensions in a moment. The bezel is narrower than the case, so I suspect there's an optical illusion thing going on, but it doesn't look too small or too big for me. I like the size, I like the weight, and plenty of removable links as well. They've all got push pins or split pins, and yeah, there are plenty of links. So this watch is going to fit small and larger than average sized wrists. I am also quite surprised to see how close this teal dial is in colour to Tiffany blue. It isn't the same colour. You can see there is a slight difference, which is why it's perfectly legal, but it is quite close, isn't it? Now, one question I do have for you guys is, why have Seiko made the hands gold and the surround to the applied indices silver? That seems like a weird combination. You've got, I think it's a silver second hand, gold minute hand, and a gold hour hand. What's that all about? But anyway, and back to the colour of this dial, I am actually warming to it. I still think I would prefer, if I was going to wear this regularly, the black dial version or the orange dial version, but I am warming to this colour of dial, and it's got a sort of subtle sunburst effect. I quite like it now. Oh dear. Now, I'll tell you what I don't like, and that is Seiko's approach to dial, chaptering, and bezel alignment. At a glance, actually, this doesn't look too bad. You look at the bezel insert at the 12 o'clock, lines up quite nicely with the chaptering, but then you move down to the triangle at the 12, and it's then that you notice things are a bit squiffy. The chaptering and the dial just do not line up. At a glance, like I said, it's not the worst, but yeah, it's not been nicely aligned, unfortunately. And this watch is £300, lest we forget. Yeah, that's probably close to $400 these days, so I'd expect better for sure, and I think you guys would too. And of course, if you spend £300 on a Seiko in the UK, you are going to be left disappointed with other specifications. So yeah, no sapphire crystal, for example. It is hardlex, an aluminium bezel insert, hollow end links, hollow links, push pins, and also a rather cheap feeling pressed clasp, only 2 micro adjustment holes on the outer shell. Yeah, it's a rather cheap feeling bracelet and clasp. I know we've come to expect it, but it doesn't make it okay. And if you take that £300 to a website like Sakura Watches or the Japan online store, you can pick up some incredible JDM Seiko watches for that £300. Yes, you'll have import taxes and fees to pay, but wow, you'll be getting some just incredible watches. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with it, to be honest. I'll probably be giving it away or selling it on my eBay store. I haven't yet decided. But yeah, this isn't one I'm going to be keeping hold of, unfortunately. Now, before I wrap it up, let me run through some of the other specifications. It comes with a 4R36 automatic movement, day-date complication at the 3 o'clock, beating at 21,600 beats per hour. Hacking and hand wind. It is not a screw down crown, but it is a screw down case back, 100 meters of water resistance. Yeah, the loom actually looks half decent. I'll do a quick loom test in a minute. And yeah, the case finishing looks okay. The bracelet is spoiled a little bit by these sort of folded joins down the side of the links, but yeah, the brushing on top seems nice enough, and yeah, the clasp is finished well enough, I guess. Safety latch, double pushers, fairly standard Seiko clasp, isn't it? Right, it's time to test the loom. I'll do the usual test, let it degrade for 5 minutes. Obviously, I'll speed up the footage and we can see how visible the loom is at the end. Seiko loom is generally pretty good, so yeah, I expect it to last pretty well. Right, the 5 minutes is up, and yeah, the loom is still pretty visible. It's not the best I've ever seen. It's not the worst. It's, yeah, I'd say a touch better than average. Yeah, it's pretty good. So this watch hasn't blown me away. It certainly hasn't swept me off my feet. I do like it, and I can certainly see the appeal. Undoubtedly, it's going to be very, very popular. This dial colour in particular, Citizen have made a quartz watch with a similar coloured dial. That one cost sub £50 in the UK. It's sold out everywhere almost immediately. People were buying those watches in batches of 10, 15 and 20 and then trying to resell them for £250, £300. This one I don't think is going to be quite that popular because it's already £300. But yeah, I certainly expect this one at places like Francis and Gay, where I bought this watch from, to sell out very quickly. So if you are interested in this particular dial colour, don't hang around. Buy one quickly if you really, really want one. Or perhaps visit my eBay store, or I might give this one away. I'm still undecided. But yeah, no tingles. I am a little bit disappointed, although the dial colour is really growing on me. I just can't look past those gold hands.